Hey everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video on Splunk series. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 commands in Splunk, and that is number 1, table command, and number 2 is rename command, number 3 is fields command, number 4 is dedup command, and number 5 is sort command. I'm going to present all of these commands one by one and with their utilization in Splunk. So let's jump back to our search and reporting app, and let's just click on that, and this is what we're gonna see when we click on the search and reporting app. This is a landing page in that app. So in today's video, I uploaded new logs to Splunk, and that is going to be a web log for a company that's a fictitious company that that we have from Splunk, that we got a logs from Splunk, and we can use that company as an example to build our use case in today's video. So the logs that I have, let's just first pull the logs, and I'm going to share this log file as well with you guys so that you guys can upload it. You guys know how to upload the logs. In one of my previous videos, I showed that. I will link that video to this video as well so that you guys can follow along. So, all right. So index that we have in today's session is web. For example, let's just take an example of web. And this index includes all of the logs. Let's just do run all the time. So this index hall has all the logs from a web server that is being utilized by a fictitious company that's called Burkup Games, and their online sales through their website. All right, so we do have a field on the left side like actions, purchase, add total, view, remove, change category. So this is just like an e-commerce website that they have logs in there, and that's what we're going to use in this session. So let's just add another metadata field in here. So this is what I want to add it to, like source type or source. At least let's just do this. Source type is access command w cookies. So this is just like a source type that I just added without an intention of being named. So let's jump to our first command, and that is table command. What table command does? So table command is just like this name says, that it's just like going to table the fields that we're going to provide with this command. So technically it's just like going to table all of those things that we can put in this command. And how do we use this command? So what we do, just pipe it. So if you notice one thing, when I hit the pipe character, it brings me to the next line, and it shows me that I do have 1, 2, 3 line numbering over here. So let me show you how you can even do that. So if you go to your preferences, click on your username and go to preferences, and if you click on SPL editor, and over here if you see it says advanced editor and line number search auto format, you want to toggle this on so that you can see, and then you can apply these things. So that's how it's gonna just reformat, and it's gonna show you all of those things with the numbering on the side as well, so you can follow along. Okay, so table command. So this is a command, this is a syntax, as you explained in one of my previous videos, right? So table is the first command that we can put, and then we want to have those fields as an argument over here, or I would say clause in here to just bring the data in the table form. So we can use let's say we have time. Let's just first use time. I want to see the time of that command, and let's just use the action over here. So I see an action. The action means what happened during that session that we had with the customer, like the consumer is trying to reach out to this store. And we can use other field from here. Let's say we can use maybe IP. Let's see if they have. Yes. So we can use client IP as well. CLINT IP. Okay. So you see I'm using comma after each field. You don't need to, but it's a good to format the fields in the column. I'll show you how that works. We can use client IP, and then we can use like the status code. We should have some status code in here because this is a web transaction, so we always have a status code. So let's just use status for now. Sorry. All right, so what we did, we're in a table command, and I want to just see all the fields that not field all the field, but the actual field that I'm going to put after the table command. So what I did, I want to see tabular form time action means what happened during that session with the end user and where the user is coming from and the status, if the transaction was successful or not. So right now it's telling me that at this time, okay, in the tabular command at time at the top, the column name would be the field names that it's going to pull the data for. So time is time, and the order would be the same order as we're going to put that in table command. So action like time, then action, of course, second, and a client field is third field, and the status is the fourth column, the fourth field. So at 202 February 24th, 1:29 p.m., this IP, like a customer from this IP came to the website, they viewed the website, and the status code was 200, means this session was successful, right? So it just viewed and just went away. At the same time, then customer did the same thing, change the quantity, the action mean quantity on the website through a web application, same IP and 200, so it was successful. Then this is just like an example how we can pull the data in tabular form. So also, if you notice one thing over here, if we remove this, if we run a search without any table command, it's just going to show us everything in the data that we're looking for. But if we do Control Z, once we run the table command, it's just going to show us the fields that we put in the table command. And if we go back to our events itself, it's not going to show up us all those events right here. But literally, you can see those events. If you go back from SMAT mode to verbose mode, it's going to show us the events in the events tab as well as in the statistics tab. All right. So that was the first command. It's very simple, but it's very useful. Of course, you don't want to just present the data in raw form. You always need some tabular form to present to someone, right? Now, the second command is a rename command. So what rename command does? Rename command is just like name says, it's just like change the name of the field. You can say right now we have an action name. We can change it to whatever name we want to. Client IP means, you want to change it to something else, and status code means, you can also change it. So renaming command is just like a simple command to rename your action. It's another form of, utility by SQL that we can use to just rename. So how this works is just like we can say again pipe rename, as we said. So let's say I want to say action, I want to use action as an uppercase. So what I can do, I always prefer to put this in double quotes, so you can say uppercase action. So let's just run this command and let's see how this works. So you see that that's a good example of troubleshooting. It says that we need to have at least one as in here to change it to name to something different. So with rename, so what I'm saying, rename my action as an action. So I should have another clause right here. So rename action as an action clause. So let's just run it this way. So you see now we have our field name changed to uppercase A. So if we can change as many fields as we want to, like I would say customer IP, right? Customer IP. So you see now we have a customer IP of the field name, and that's how we can rename to something that's presentable and that's human readable. Sometime if we have a lot of raw logs and we can't understand the logs, a field name by itself, we can rename it to something that's known to us. Now, another thing in renaming, what if we renamed it? Can we still look for the same actual or original field? The answer is that no, we cannot. For example, if I want to look for this client IP table, like let's suppose if I run this command to table it after renaming it, we cannot find the data with the original field name if we renamed it in a previous command with this. So what I would need to do at this point, I would need to use like my actual names that I renamed in here. So client IP, C client IP. There you go. So once we renamed it, we cannot go back and present the same data. It's just like, you know, search time renaming, but literally data is not being renamed on the index level as well. You see, the fields are like that. So it's just like what we want to do at the search level. All of these commands, this is just like a search time command, means whenever we're running search, this is not going to just change the name in the database as well. All right. And the next thing that I wanted to share is the fields command. So what is a fields command? Fields is just like a command that we can use either to include or exclude the fields from our data that we're intending to present. So for example, in this case, if I want to have, let's say, I want to remove this status command from our data, what I can do is fields, fields, and I can say negative or hyphen status. So it's going to remove that entire field from my results. What if I just want to see just that field? So we can remove the negative or hyphen sign, then it's just going to show us just that specific field with the time. So time is, of course, it's obligatory next to the status. So what if I want to have more than one field excluded? So let's just take an example. I want to exclude status as well as I want to exclude, let's say, action. Now it's just showing me the time and the customer IP. What if I want to exclude everything, like just to test? Now it's just going to give us the time. But what if I just want to have some specific fields? So what if I had, like, you know, 20 fields in table, but I want to see just the 2 or 3 fields? Then you can just use a plus sign, or by default plus sign is there, but if you want to, you can use it. So right now we have just these 2 fields. I want to just remove this. I want to see just 2 status and action command in there. You see right here, we have a status, and we have an action command. So that's how field things work. It's just like we can use it to exclude or include our data. That's that. I mean the column, or I would say the fields from our statistics table. Or you can specify as well with any of the raw data as well. You don't need to have like statistics table. You can use it with the raw data as well. And the next thing that I wanted to discuss is dedupe. What is dedupe? Dedupe is a removal of a duplication. Like what if I have a removal, I have duplicates events that I want to remove from my results. We can use a dedupe command. So let's just remove this field command. Let's just run this search. What I'm saying that I want to remove action and client IP duplications for the action or client IPs. What I'm trying to do is that if my customer is doing the same thing at different terminal, I don't want to see that. I just want to see my unique customer and unique IP. Unique IP means a unique customer. So what I can do, dedupe. Dedupe is the command that we can use to remove the duplication. Let's first test the action itself. So what this command is telling us that total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actions total in our data. Means we removed all the duplications based on action. Means we removed we will just want to see one time add total action, but that's not a good practice because we had almost 13,000 events, and but we removed just the action. Means we're just removing everything based on each an action. You see, we had 13,628 events. So this is something that we want to make sure whenever we use duplication, we want to be careful when we're using duplication. So what I want to say that I want to have a unique action for the unique IP. So I can use this. I want to remove duplication based on action and based on customer. For example, if my customer is doing this much time the same website, it's not going to show me over here. So if you check right now, right here, so this customer, one time add to cart, one time purchase, same thing, same IP, add to cart, purchase, view, remove, and all of those things based on each an IP. If I sort it by IP, that's going to our next command. It's going to show us what's it's going over here. So you see change quantity from the same IP, same customer, did all of those things, and we have now just 866 events. So technically you just saw the magic that we had almost 13,000 events, and out of those 30,000 events, we have more, none that I want to just look at. It's just like 866 events. So that's how dedup work. Dedup is just like a removal of duplication from the data that we want to see it based on. All right, and the next thing that I want to discuss is sort command. So sort command is technically just to order our results in ascending or descending order. When I say order our results means, what if I want to order my entire data based on time? So let's just take an example. I want to order based on my time. Default is ascending order, but we can change it to descending order as well. So what if I want to do like _time? So right now, if you notice right here, it's a ascending order. By default means it's going to send to we have the data starting from February 20th, and it's going to go down to 20th, 21st, 22nd, and all of those dates are coming. But so we didn't use any order over here. The default is plus, but what if I want to see my latest transaction at top? I can use negative or hyphen sign over here. Now it's going to show us all the latest transaction at the top, and it's going to follow up the previous transaction or the oldest transaction, the following events. So that's how it works. Sort, or I can sort it by client IP. Let's say I want to sort by time and by client IP as well. Let's just use customer IP right here. Now it's going to sort based on two fields, not just the time plus the customer IP. So it's going to take these things plus these two things, and it's going to show us right here. Or we can use action as well. So you see, it's going to now show us based on action and of course on the time. So that's how this sort command works. It's just like sorting the results based on our field names that we want to put in as well. And also we can limit the results. So right now we have almost 866 events. What if I want to sort it and I want to have limitation on my results? So we can literally use this command, limit equal, let's say 30. I want to just see 30 events in the top right here. So you see, it's just going to show me just the 30 events from the entire 866 events that we just had. So we can limit those results as well. So yeah, that's how this sort command works. We can use plus and minus as well. If you want to. Plus means by default, plus means it's ascending and it's a default, but negative is just like in descending order. So that's how this thing work. I can remove this thing. So that's it. So let's just save it to our report as we are saving. This is our normal practice. So let's name it table rename dedup demo. So all right, now we're gonna go and review this. So we're getting all of those CSS and we saved it to a report as we are doing for this exercise. Yes. So yeah, that was it for today's. I was trying to share some different commands, and this is the command that you are going to live in and live with, I would say, because you're going to use these commands every day, and this is going to help you to create your statistics and your comprehensive reports based on your utilization. And also I'll share the link to these logs that I'm using right now. And if you want to know how you can upload these logs, of course, if you're following on the video, you should know there's a previous video that I shared that where you can upload the logs in Splunk. That was it for today. Thank you very much.